Everybody, Pat Cahill with Buffalo Ridge Defense. So let's talk about the balance of speed and precision when shooting. We've talked about a lot of things. We've already been practicing and talked about the intuitive unsighted fire. But in all shooting, there's a balance between speed and precision. The more precise we have to be, the slower we shoot. The faster we shoot, the less precise we are. Each of us have to learn our own balance between speed and precision as we're developing our shooting skills. So let's talk about this first on intuitive sighted fire. So intuitive sighted fire is using the sights on your firearm. In using those sights, you have to first get the proper sight alignment. What's that look like? The proper sight alignment basically is you have your rear sight and you have a front sight. Equal height, equal light means that the front sight is equal height with the rear sight, so equal height. Equal light means that front sight, your front blade, has the same amount of light coming in on both sides of it as it is placed into the proper sight alignment with the rear sight. Now that's sight alignment. Sight picture, when we take that same sight picture and we put it right on the sight, right on our target, like I have here, okay, now it's right on the target, concentrating on that front sight, equal height, equal light. It's now a sight picture because we're overlaying that sight alignment onto the target. We call it a sight picture. So when we have that sight picture, we're able to use the intuitive sighted fire. That intuitive sighted fire aids us in getting a greater precision in our shooting, sometimes a greater precision needed. So what dictates the need for precision? Well, first of all, the target. The target is primarily dictates the need for precision. If we're shooting in a big white space in the, like you see here on the target in the high center chest area, when we're shooting in that big space, that's a big space that allows us to have a little bit of deviation, but still make the hits. But if we're shooting at this little bitty space here, up in the circle here on the head portion, then that's a really small area in comparison to the high center chest. Well, that means that we have to be more precise, which means we're going to slow down. So, and it means that we need to have more precision. It's a smaller area versus bigger area. So the target dictates the need for precision. Our application of our skills, what we've learned, what we've practiced, and what we do, that really determines whether we get the hits or not. Doesn't matter whether you're shooting a big area or a small area, our ability to apply those skills in order to get the hits we need is really boils down to our application of the skills we have. Our confidence that we've developed through practicing really determines the speed that we can get those and achieve those hits. So as we have our application of skills, but the better we become at those skills and we gain confidence, the faster we can apply those skills to get the target and get the desired hits we want. What are some of the other factors that we use when we're going for unsighted fire at a big target versus a little target? Well, we might have to go to the intuitive sighted fire to hit this small target. If we're doing the intuitive sighted fire, we're going to close one eye. We want to close one eye so we get that great sight picture overlaid over the target itself that will help us get our hits. There's 4 factors that determine. Number 1, the size of the target. So if I'm shooting at the berm, boy, I can be really fast. I mean, I have this whole big berm behind me that I can draw and I can fire at. That's really easy to do. But if I'm shooting at this little target right here and I'm trying to hit the X, well, that's really small. So I'm going to have to slow down in order to take and get the proper sight picture in order to do that. Now, when do I use the sight picture versus shooting at the berm, which is intuitive unsighted fire? Well, I use the sighted fire whenever I feel I have to. And that's when you should use it. Whenever you feel you have to make the precise hit that you need. That's when you switch to the sighted fire. What's another thing that determines our speed and our precision? Well, it's our distance from the target. So I put 3 equal circles here on the target you see. And let's say I'm standing right in front of this circle right here. If I'm standing right in front of this circle, and I'm going to draw a cone down like this, because this really dictates the deviation. And what's deviation? Deviation is is basically a description of where we want the bullets to hit and where the bullets are actually hitting. That's what the deviation is from where, compared to where we want it to hit and where it actually hits. So when we look at this, we have deviation, and the farther our target is away from us, the more deviation we have. Well, if a target is right directly in front of us, our deviation really isn't as effective. It doesn't affect the hits at all. We're precise. We can draw. We can hit the berm. We can hit this high center chest. We're able to hit our target. It's right in front of us. Draw, fire. As we get out here, we see that this is a proper balance of precision and speed, where we're able to, that our precision is well within the target area, and our speed is there. This is a good indication of balance and speed. That's actually perfect balance and speed. But yet if the target's farther away from us, that same deviation that allowed us to get these hits will make us miss the target, because that deviation has a greater effect the farther out it gets on whether we hit or don't hit. So the distance from the target is really crucial. Now the circumstances we're shooting under, well, that's really crucial also, and that determines our speed. I mean, if we're in a low light situation versus high noon, we're at a range shooting, well, that's easy to do, or we're in a crowded space where there's other things that are in danger, other people, where our background is. We could be in a mall in a defensive shooting, or somewhere that it requires precise accuracy, because a miss, that perceived penalty for that miss, may be hitting an innocent bystander. That may be hitting another family member. So really the circumstances we're shooting in really greatly affects our ability to shoot fast, because that perceived penalty of a miss slows us down. And then we concentrate more on that intuitive sighted picture, and we take that shot. The last thing is anticipation. The anticipation for the need to defend ourselves, the anticipation for the need to shoot. If we're all of a sudden surprised out of nowhere, and we're attacked and we're there and we're surprised, and you know, our confidence level, well, we might have a lot of confidence, but at one point we're just shooting out of panic. It's right there on us. The threat is right there. It's on us. We might even have to go hands-on before we can get our firearm out. But once we do that, that's completely a surprise. We're reacting to that surprise stimulus. The attack is already on us. Yet if we can anticipate, if we see that an attack, a potential threat is 30, 40 yards away from us and coming towards us, that gives us the anticipation we need to get our mind in the right status, in the right state, so that we're able to draw our firearm and get into it. So anticipation allows us to increase our speed, because we're anticipating that threat, and still maintain our precision. So the balance of speed and precision is always there. It's always crucial when you're doing it. You have to find out what's right for you. Just because somebody else shoots fast and he's that guy that can pull his firearm and shoot and hit anything and super fast, don't compare yourself with anyone else. You have to compare yourself with yourself. And you can only do that and build your confidence by practicing your application of skills on various size targets, shooting large targets and small targets. Make sure you put all of those into your daily practice or your weekly practice, but put it into your practice time. The four factors are going to affect that speed and balance the most. The speed and precision balance the most are the size of the target, the distance to the target, the circumstances in which you're shooting, and your anticipation, the need to shoot. What you perceive those penalties are, that's going to affect you too. But the target's going to dictate your need for precision. The application you're practicing is going to be the skills you need to get those hits, and the more you practice, the better you are to increase your speed and still get those hits. And then that also increases your confidence. So practice, practice, practice. That's the goal of the day. And we're just gonna hit the range here and do some practicing, shooting large and smaller targets. That's it for now. Until we meet again, my friends, stay safe and stay healthy.